Nick hate right now?
Oh, I do.
A lot of disrespect.
I enjoy the haters. I enjoy twisting the knife. Hi, America. Speaking of twisting the knife,
I think it might be too
welcome
close
back to a thirsty, very thirsty Thursday.
Perfectly split.
That is the redoubtable one himself, Tom Izzo, highly questionable one, RJ Miliaccio. Welcome to IDD. For those of you who I don't disagree, we have a new logo. Check it out on the Facebook page. And this first segment brought to you by something we did not know existed.
Minute Maid Zero Sugar Lemonade, okay? With a little Pinnacle Whip.
A little pin whip.
Almost tastes like a frozen lemonade from
the only thing missing is the palm trees. Think about this drink. The beach.
See, I wasn't there.
Beach.
I wasn't there. I was
the beach.
I was in the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A getting a frozen lemonade.
I was on the beach with Chick-fil-A.
Now I can see that.
With
like
with a large order of those Chick-fil-A, those nuggets, the nuggies.
The nuggies.
The nuggies. I'm a big fan of those Chick-fil-A nuggies. I am.
Dude, now that the weather's kind of getting nice, I might need to get some skinny cigars.
We can do whatever we want.
You remember when we used to smoke cigars the entire show?
We did. We do have to bring that back now.
It's kind of like a manly cliche.
It is. Well, we're at a bar.
I know, but it feels like every time a man's on a podcast, he's got to be like smoking and drinking liquor.
Doing something.
I guess we're kind
of doing that already. Segment 1. Hey. What was it last night? What did I say? Done. What did I say? What was it? Done it? No. It was
Denunzio.
Denunzio, and then what'd you say?
No, I said Evander.
Denunzio, Evander Brookenstock. And that's what it was after what was one of the ugliest beginnings ever in a playoff game.
Awful.
It was hideous the first 8 minutes of that game.
Dude.
It picked up, thank God.
But there was bad basketball into the fourth quarter.
There really was.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, for those of you that are living on the moon, we're talking about that Philly-Miami Donnybrook up in Philly last night. That came down to the wire. Joel Embiid reminded the world of who he was in that fourth quarter, 11 points. But really the hero of that game was a man that probably no one outside of Philly has heard of.
No, I hate the guy.
Batum.
Batum. Nicholas Batum,
who averages 5.5 points a game, decided to pick last night to have his career high, 20 points. And he hit 6 threes.
Insane.
And literally
cooking Jimmy Butler, but now you look back and Jimmy Butler was on one leg.
For most of the game.
For about 3 quarters.
And that kind of took the fun out of it. Because you want Miami with him.
Yeah.
You really do. Because you know it's not the same without him. It's just not. And you're not going to feel as good about it because he's not there. And you know what? And the thing is, playoff Jimmy's a real thing. You look at his career stats, it bears out. In the playoffs, he's a different animal, and he's probably put himself in the Hall of Fame because of his postseason. So, performances. But last night, that didn't get to happen because Philly pulled a Miami on Miami. Butler went up at the end of the first quarter. You saw this replay. He shot fakes the guy. It was Oubre, right? Oubre goes up, comes down on the side of that right knee. And
Oubre did some weird bicycle kick in the. It was like a very unnecessary movement.
Joel's not going to want to hear this, but that reeks of intent. Because to your point about that weird fucking leg angle,
like he did like this thing with his legs in the air, like he was
trying to make it look like an accident, but he's a bad actor.
It was just unnecessary body movement.
Yeah,
like
didn't need it.
Control yourself.
And right on the side of the knee, the MCL side of the knee.
Yeah.
And now Butler is basically out. Who are we kidding? You're not coming back,
dude. And like I know this is hindsight, and I don't know who else they would have brought in because Rozier wasn't there. But there was a point in the fourth quarter when they were trying to come back, and Jimmy was just standing in the corner,
couldn't move,
and the whole team was just watching Tyler Hero play one-on-one basketball.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if they're. I know that's Jimmy, and maybe it's good to have him in there as a decoy, but if he's just going to stand there, why not bring somebody else in there?
He other than straight line back and forth, he really couldn't move up to that point. And that's the first sign it's an MCL. Because if your lateral movement is gone,
yeah.
that's what that is. And I know because I've had that problem.
You can't plant.
You can't plant. You can't cut, and you're afraid to.
Yeah.
Because if it's just if it's
think it's gonna pop.
If it's a strain or a sprain, it's weeks. If he tears it, he's done.
Yeah.
So, but weeks means he's out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's basically out anyway.
Yeah.
So,
but what do you think about? I know it's easy to look back and say that, but for a good portion of the fourth quarter, he was just standing there
because he couldn't move,
and Batum was hitting threes in his face.
He couldn't move.
I understand. My question to you is, why didn't Spo bring some like?
Because Jimmy Butler, for whatever you think of him, he's like Westbrook. He'll die before he yields.
But he couldn't move.
Maybe Spoelstra's in mind. Jimmy Butler at 50% is better than what's on my bench.
I don't think so.
Who would you have put in?
I don't know who was on the bench, honestly. I think Lowry might have been on the.
No, Lowry's in Philly now.
Oh, that's right. My bad. They didn't have a point guard, and I guess that's because Rozier
is out.
But man, you don't have anybody. They couldn't handle the ball. The minute Philly put any kind of pressure on
Tyler
them,
Hero showed his lack of handle last night.
Oh my God, his lack of shooting too.
Well,
I know he hit some at the end.
Let me tell you why his shooting was
he missed like 15 shots.
The reason
going
he
into
didn't
the fourth
have
quarter.
his shooting was off because he didn't have his legs. He had his legs because he was playing point guard. When you have to bring the ball up against pressure,
It's a lot of stress.
Do you know what that does to your legs? Trust me, I played the position. Trust me. Okay, it's tough to shoot from the outside in the fourth quarter of a game where you have to take a break every couple of
He
possessions.
shot good in the fourth quarter. He didn't shoot good in the first three quarters.
He ended up 2 for 10 from the three.
What?
For
in
the
entire game?
2 for 10. So the two.
Yeah, but I
hit,
think he hit those two in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Because at one point he was 5 for 20 from the field, and I was like,
yeah.
What is he like? What value
He was
is he
bringing the ball up,
but he couldn't. He was barely doing that.
He's not a point guard, and he showed it.
Yeah,
he's a shooting guard who can shoot, but again, he's very limited. He's 1-2 dribbles to the basket either way. He's not 94 feet, stop and go, spin, move behind it. No, that's not what he does.
He was more effective when he was going and using mid range. Like getting in close.
You can still pull up from 15 feet. 23-9.
No, he was not hitting those all night.
He didn't hit it from anywhere.
Yeah.
He was gassed because he was bringing the ball up all night. He's not used to doing it. If you're used to doing that because you're a point guard, you're not going to be gassed. He's not used to doing it.
Yeah.
And he did. And Philly, this is where I give Nurse credit. He recognized they didn't have because Rozier's not there. And then, he had to bring the ball up.
Yeah,
so,
what?
It
was ugly.
Put a guy in his face, wear him down.
Dude, it was funny because, and I told you this. Well, we were texting on the IDD chat, me, you, and Joel.
Yeah.
And I said that I hated Jaime Jaquez because he's the one that caused, and obviously I don't know the guy, but I don't like him because he's the one that undercut Randall, and Randall dislocated his shoulder.
Culture. Dirty
heat
as
culture.
a fucking...
Be dirty and hurt people.
Be dirty and hurt people.
So
congratulations, Miami.
When I said that in the IDD chat, Joel immediately goes to a chat with me, him, and our old boss, our friend Mike, who, when he was our boss, he lived in Miami. He lived in Miami 15 years. I don't know how long he was down there, but he's a Heat fan, obviously.
Yeah.
And
is he originally from there?
I think he's originally from the Northeast, but he spent a long time in Miami.
He's been there like half his life.
I think so. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I mean, legitimate Heat fan.
Okay.
And he knows basketball.
Does he?
I think so. But
wow, you're in for a surprise.
Well, there's different levels of knowing basketball.
Exactly.
Okay. So,
as we're about to prove.
So I don't mean he knows basketball like your ass.
No, he's a casual fan.
Well, no, he's like a diehard Heat fan, but not basketball.
No. There's a reason why Stephen A. Smith trashes the Heat fans, and you're about to see why. But anyway, go on.
So he immediately texts Mike, Mike, Tommy hates Jaquez. And apparently that's like Mike's guy. And he was like,
his
seriously?
guy is Jaime Jaquez.
He was like, why do you hate him? And I was like, because he embodies Heat culture, a.k.a. be dirty and hurt people. And
that went over like a fart in church.
Yeah.
Oh, so, baby.
But I mean, we were having funny, like, shit-talking banter all night.
Of course,
but
that's all it was.
What was funny, because Joel started talking shit to me this week, saying that the Knicks have no chance to beat...
There's that name again, Joel.
we finally had a good conversation.
The Max Kellerman of IDD.
Yeah, exactly. The Skip Bayless of IDD. So,
This is turning out better than I thought already.
but it was funny because I went into that game hoping that we played Philly because I know Miami is dirty and I don't want them because they always try to hurt Brunson. When he does jump shots, they put their feet under his feet.
They did it. Adebayo tried it twice to Porzingis this year.
It's literally, I think, how they teach.
It's part of that culture.
I think it's how they teach defense.
When they're in the air, slide over there.
Close out.
Make it look good.
Close out.
Slide under that foot. Because you want them thinking about it, so they're not thinking about the shot.
So,
it's dirty. It's
so
dirty.
Going in, I was thinking that. Now, also in the back of my head was like, yeah, but Philly's probably better than them, so that's a risky one. But then, as the game went on, and Philly looked like absolute dog shit for the first
Philly got lucky
30 minutes. I mean, they looked awful for two and a half quarters.
Philly got lucky on two fronts last night. But go ahead.
But, so, I can't remember where I was.
It was Jaime Jaquez. You guys were talking about why you can't stand him, and then there was something he did, or
No. So I was saying that I went in wanting to play the Heat, or not wanting to play the Heat.
Yeah.
That because I didn't want them to be dirty and hurt us. But then as I saw Philly playing, and I saw how
Lowry's on that team now.
Dude, let me finish this. You keep interrupting, and I can't remember where I was.
Philly, dirty. Go on.
No, that's not what I was saying. I was saying as the game went on, Philly looked so bad that my opinion switched. Now I don't want to play Philly just because Miami's dirty. I want to play Philly because they look terrible. And Joel Embiid looks like all he can do is jog up and down the floor.
One leg.
All he could do is... I mean, Kevin Love was guarding him. Kevin Love's 6'8" at best.
6'8", 6'9".
Right?
Yeah, around there.
And, I don't know, what, 240?
He's half the size of Embiid.
I mean, he is...
He looks half the size.
And he was keeping Embiid out of the paint.
Because he can't plant on that.
I know. But now I start watching that and I go, shit, like... Now I really want to play Philly because they are not Philly. That's not the real Philly. But then Jimmy Butler gets hurt, and I'm like, oh shit!
I want to play the Heat.
It'd be nice if the Heat can skate by with no Jimmy Butler. Fucking beat their ass. But so yeah, it's funny because
shameless America, shameless.
Well, but here's the thing: I've also committed to the fact that like I don't prefer either team. Because I think the Knicks are better than both of them.
They are better than both of them.
And if the Knicks play their game, they're going to win this series.
It wouldn't matter if they're 100%. I think if they're both healthy and the Knicks are still missing Randall, the Knicks are still better than both
I agree. I agree with that.
Okay.
The funny part is no one in the national media agrees with that.
Because
everybody says shit like...
Kendrick Perkins does.
Well, okay, that's true. Him. But today...
Stephen A. Smith does. Okay. You should have heard him gloating this morning. I did. Oh, yo, man.
He was actually, he's been pretty good, actually.
Black Joel.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. See, I never do shit like that.
Oh, he was obnoxious.
I mean, you're not on the team. What are you gloating for?
He was obnoxious this morning.
I saw it.
It was the Black Joel.
But the things I was hearing today was, up until last night, the Sixers... really have folded in crunch time and in the playoffs. And I think a win like last night really pushes them over the edge and gives them confidence. What? Fucking Nicholas Batum had to bail your ass out.
I know the guy that said that, too. I know who he is. He's that little fucking beat guy.
I heard a few people say.
Well, he was the one on NBA who was the one defending Philly for finally coming through in the clutch, albeit against a very depleted Miami team.
Yeah. Exactly. Jimmy Butler one leg, no Rozier.
No Rozier.
I mean...
I can news for you. If Jimmy Butler stays healthy for 3 quarters, you lose.
You lose by
10. You lose. They don't come back.
You lose.
You lose. And if Rozier is there, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a fucking wrap.
Yeah, because then you wouldn't have been able to press the way you did.
No, Rozier would have ate you up and spit you out if you tried that shit with him. He's used to that shit. But the thing is, look, and you're 100% right. And you shouldn't have a preference. But the thing is this. What Philly did last night just told me that they can stoop to Miami's level, and that Oubre play personifies that. Okay, and by the way, they picked up Lowry. Lowry's as dirty as they come. Now he's wearing that uniform. So trust me, I tell you, you're still going to get dirty. You're still going to get dirty.
Yeah.
The thing is, none of it is going to matter at the end of the day because the Knicks are deeper, they are more athletic, and yes, you two donkeys, one of which I haven't met. Hi, Mike. It's your Uncle Bingo.
Uncle Bingo.
Time to pay the check, motherfucker. Okay.
It's your Uncle Bingo.
Somewhere, I heard it through a grapevine. I don't know. Some bird told me something about how there was a conversation in the last 12, 24 hours, I don't know, by a couple of homers, saying how these three teams that we were just this triangle, the Knicks, the Sixers,
and the Sixers,
that in the coaching pecking order, that the Knicks had the worst guy in the fight.
And there's no argument.
And there's no argument. It's a good thing you two aren't here right now, because undressing you would be so easy. Just so fucking easy.
Here, would you like me to read some of the words?
No, I don't need to write. Believe me, anyone who sides with Joel on this is already in.
No, because I do want to give you a detail on this.
Oh, a detail.
This is where I disagreed, because Spo does have the track record of going to 2 finals with teams that, when you look at them, you would say that's an overachievement, right? So I'll give him that. The LeBron and the D-Wade championships, he's not a genius for that.
No, he was in the right place at the right time.
But
that's all that was.
Right. But getting to the finals with the team last year, getting to the finals in the bubble, I think those are big accomplishments. The thing that Mike said that I didn't disagree with was, name a player that Tom Thibodeau has developed. That's what he said to me. And I was like, you could say that,
hold on.
You could say that about every NBA coach in the league.
Stop right there. Let's talk about the players that you think this video boy developed and when he got them. When Riley stepped down, Dwayne Wade was already fucking developed, you donkey. That's strike.
Won a championship.
That's strike number 1. Strike 2, LeBron James? Really? You developed LeBron? You got him at 28, you donkey.
Well, no. You know what I said to him? I said LeBron. He said he hadn't won anything before he came there.
And neither
I said he didn't win because of Spo.
No, he didn't. Okay, and number 3, Jimmy Butler, not a rookie when you got him. Okay, in fact, Philly was getting raked over the coals for letting him.
Well, actually,
he was an all-star.
Joel brought up a good point.
What?
You know who developed Jimmy Butler?
Who?
Tom Thibodeau.
Tom Thibodeau.
In Chicago.
Yeah, and Memphis. In Minnesota, because that's where he was.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Look, the reality for these two clowns, and look, I'm sure, Mike, you're a great guy.
Mike, you're a great guy.
But listen, if you're gonna piss in my fucking soup, it better be seriously. There better be some fucking meat with it, because honestly, I like my soup with meat in it. Okay, not just this fucking crap. Okay, the reality is this: Spoelstra is the second on the pecking order, and I don't even know how true that is, because the reality is Nick Nurse has only been a coach for 6 years.
Right.
Okay, so I don't know how good he is yet or not. Spoelstra's been a coach for 16 years. Thibodeau 14 years. Okay, Spoelstra's best player ever was LeBron James. Tibbs' best player ever was Derrick Rose.
It was a flash. Because he got hurt.
Yeah, it was a flash in the pan. Okay. The thing is, though, he's got 500 and something wins. He's like 570 and 338, 388, whatever it is. His playoff record is 31 and 41, but he's never had. By the way, most of those came in that 3-year window when Golden State was that fucking wrecking crew with Kevin Durant.
And he was on the
He was in the West. Mm-hmm. Nobody was beating that team. Okay, that team was an all-star team. Okay, but the thing is, and as far as Nurse goes, the only reason he's got his ring is because said superstar Durant went down in Game 1 of that final, and then Klay Thompson went down in Game 5. He didn't play in Game 6. And by the way, no one, and I mean no expert across the board, you can go look this up, picked Toronto to win that series before it started. So that's called lucky, not good. Okay. But again, he's only been around 6 years. It's a small sample size. The bottom line is Tibbs laps him and Spears right there. Not even close. Okay, as far as Spoelstra goes, he's always had the better players. He's always had Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Jimmy Butler. Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer. I'll wait for your response on that, you two, because you can't find 3 players on Tibbs' rosters that equal the 3 I just mentioned. Jimmy Butler was actually Tibbs, and Tibbs is the one who developed him. He's right about that.
That's what Joel said.
Joel's right about that. So for Joel to sit there and contradict himself and go, this isn't a conversation, when you said he developed him, well, then obviously this is a conversation. Now, isn't it, Joel?
Well, Mike said the conversation, though.
Yeah, well, Mike's off his rocker, because the best coach of the 3 of them is, in fact, Thibodeau. Okay, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Yeah. Because if I give Thibodeau LeBron James, he has at least 2 titles. He probably has more. Thibodeau is the defense. No. Thibodeau is the defensive guru here, not Doc Rivers. Thibodeau was the man that was the key behind the 08 Celtics, who I'll put that defense up against any defense ever played the game. They were that fucking good, and Kevin Garnett was one of the greatest players ever. He was the back end of it. Okay, Tibbs was the mastermind behind that defense. Okay, Spoelstra's a fucking videotape guy. He just watches tape, watches tape, watches tape. All right? And then he tells great players, hey, go over there. Because they're going to play this against you, which a lot of guys can do if they have two eyes that work and they understand the game. They understand help ball you man, help concept and defense, which I'm pretty sure I'm speaking Italian to you because I know you don't know what it fucking means. Okay? The bottom line is this. Okay? Anybody that watches film for 30 years can fucking come up with that because, by the way, a guy named Pat Riley's over your shoulder. He's going to explain it to you anyway. Okay? So the reality is Tibbs is by far the best fucking coach in this trio because he's worked with less. Okay? And he's got that ring in Boston because of his defense. Not Doc Rivers' timely timeouts. Because if Doc Rivers was any good of a coach, that team doesn't go 7-7, 6-6 to win that final. They go sweep, 5-6 to win that title. If he's a great coach. And if you think I'm bluffing, go check out that Lob City roster that we talked about and how he couldn't get out of the second round with it. When the West wasn't anywhere near what it is right now. Okay, the answer is Tom Thibodeau. And I can even give you the numbers if you really want to back that up. But the bottom line is he's batting around 600 without a LeBron, without a Wade, and without a Butler. And Derrick Rose wasn't around long enough, so get that out of your fucking head. He wasn't around long enough. Not even close. Okay? Those guys are all first ballot Hall of Famers right now. Okay? All three of them. If Butler doesn't play in a minute, he goes into the Hall of Fame. And he will, because of his playoff performances. Okay? Wade, already in. LeBron, lock. So right there, Spoelstra's out of this equation already. Gone. Okay? Gone. Okay? Nick Nurse.
See, I think I give more credit to Spoelstra than you do. And my thing is, I can accept the argument that Tom Thibodeau's not the best coach in that bunch, but I just thought it was crazy to say it's not even a discussion.
Factually speaking, it's not.
No, you make great points.
Not. Everything I gave you is a fact.
Yeah, no,
they're giving you their, hey, let's see if it sticks. I mean, that's Joel's method. Let's see if it sticks against the wall.
What happened was Mike started off by saying Tibbs is a guy that can't get it done in the playoffs. Runs his team into the ground in the regular season. Blah blah. And I said that's a lazy take.
That's a lazy take, and that's Stephen A. Smith's lazy ass take.
Everybody in the national media has that take. Yeah. That's why people who don't watch Thibodeau say that about him. Because when you look at it, he doesn't run play. He plays the guys he thinks are going to get him to win.
Yeah.
And if a guy can't play 35 minutes a game, what the fuck is wrong with that guy?
I'm telling you right now.
That's 3/4 of a fucking game.
You're criticizing, not you, but people are criticizing Tibbs for what every real coach in that league, Chuck Daly, Casey Jones, Pat Riley, used to do.
George Karl.
Popovich does it still now. He just doesn't have the horses. Okay? The reality of it is, George Karl's not even.
I was kidding.
I hope so. Yeah.
I just threw out a name.
I mean, throw it back. In fact, bury it.
Larry Brown.
So, Larry Brown, another perfect example. Okay? So, but the thing is, when you look at Tibbs' record in terms of what he had to work with in terms of home run hitters, doesn't add up. It's not even close. It's not even close. Okay, I'd say to your buddy Mike, give Tibbs, LeBron, and Wade and Bosch, and let's see what. Because I already know for a fact he's already a better defensive coach than fucking Spoelstra will ever be. Ever be, and I've got the 2008 Celtics to back it up. Okay,
I think Tibbs
and by the way, and this New York Knicks team right now, to back it up.
Tibbs would have found a way to shut down Dirk
easily.
Okay, so here's another one I want you to get in on.
He shut down Kobe. Let me say this again for the slow people. In the 08 finals, he shut down Kobe. And in fact, in 010 when they lost, Kobe was 6 for 24 in Game 7 because Tibbs shut him down again with a depleted Celtics roster and the rest bailed Kobe out. When Spoelstra shuts down a guy like Kobe, let me know, or Nurse, let me know. I'll be ready, let me know. Okay?
Without hurting them.
Yeah.
Now, the other one I needed your back on.
Without hurting them, yeah.
Because
that's how Miami stop people.
Exactly.
Hey, when they're not looking, just slip that foot under there.
That's supposed to.
And by the way, Mike, your team, your Alabama, tried to do that twice to Porzingis here in 2 different games, and I saw it. So don't fucking even try. Don't fucking try.
It was like Spoelstra's over there going, do you see how much lift he's getting on that jump shot?
As soon as
you can get your foot in
just slide it right under there. It'll be subtle, but go straight up.
Okay, so here was the other argument. Joel was saying Maxey was better than Brunson. Okay. All while saying that the Sixers team is better than the Knicks, right? Like he was saying, our third and fourth best scoring option is better than yours. And I said, okay, so then if Maxey is better than Brunson has a worse supporting cast, but he got the 2 seed. Maxey is better than Brunson, but has a better supporting cast and got the 7 seed. How does that work? That can't work, right? Because the better player should be able to take his team further. Especially if his team is better. Wouldn't you agree?
Joel.
What are you looking something up?
No. Joel.
What are you looking at?
Joel. That's not it. Joel.
What are you looking for?
Oh, that was UVA.
No, I got a text from Ralph about Evans pitching tomorrow. I didn't know that.
This fucking asshole.
Anyway, the thing is, look, because this is it's the same. How far do you want to hit it, RJ? I'm gonna put it right here on the tee. Is it a watermelon this time, Joel, or is it a grapefruit? What is it? I mean, look, the reality of it is.
Can I have a little more? I'm almost out.
The reality of it is, look, Maxey is a very talented player. He's 4 years younger.
Awesome.
But
He's not as
Maxey,
mature.
they're both 39% three-point shooters. Brunson has a better mid-range game. Maxey's quicker. Brunson averages more assists. Brunson averages more points. And Brunson lost an all-star, just like you did. Okay?
Right.
And I think the thing is, if Maxey's so good, why are the Knicks in the 2 spot and not Philly?
Right. That was my whole thing.
I mean,
especially if you're telling me that the Knicks
and by the way,
is worse.
if Joel, here's the problem with your stupidity. If you're saying that the Sixers have the better supporting cast, which you are, then shouldn't Maxey's job be even easier?
Exactly.
I mean, so let me get this straight, just so we're thinking about Joel. I have to clear my head before I try to wrap my head around his idiocy.
You know, I said all this stuff to you, right?
It's like that was yours. You
no,
did.
No, I have mine.
Okay. The thing is, look.
Are you just processing it now?
It's just I'm stoned, 1, and 2. Every time Joel does this, I have to remind myself this is a human being, because I actually love Joel. But then he does this and he pisses me the fuck off, because it's almost like he does it to antagonize me. But then he does it when I'm not around, so I know he's not antagonizing me.
He's trying
to
to
antagonize you, and thus he antagonizes me. So it's like either he's kidding or he's really this dumb. Problem is, he's done it too often for him to be smart, because he ain't that smart. Okay, the thing is, look, and I'm saying that in terms of sports. Okay, the bottom line is this: look, Jalen Brunson. Okay, mid-range game, Maxey, no. And I'm not saying Maxey can't hit a pull-up jump shot. Jalen Brunson lives off it. You know why? Because he doesn't have other than DiVincenzo, guys like that Maxey has around him in terms of Thaddeus and Oubre and Buddy Hield. Tobias, whatever.
Did you need this or no? Thaddeus.
Well, I'm gonna need it because we're dealing with Joel. Pour that in there.
Full?
Look, yeah, full. So look, he's not better than Brunson. The numbers back it up. Brunson averages 2 more points a game. He averages more higher assists. He shoots better from the field. It's a wash from the 3-point line. They're both 39%. Okay? The thing is this. Brunson, if your argument's right and you think that they have the better, then Maxey's job is even easier. How didn't he get the 2 seed?
Exactly.
How didn't he get the 2 seed, Joe?
He buried himself with that.
I mean, come on, man. If you're going to make an argument, at least do your research. Throw shit against.
To make that argument, you can't have that other.
Can't have it both ways. It's one or the other. And the thing is,
it's either the Knicks are a better overall team, or Brunson's better.
Well, what Joe's about to find out is both.
Yeah.
So the reality is this, and this is with all due respect to Embiid, and I give him credit for coming back, Joe, and manning up, because a lot of guys would have shut it down. And if nothing else, Embiid has balls.
Embiid's tough.
He's got balls, and I give him credit for that, because he's playing through this when a lot of guys would have shut it down. But that's why he won a league MVP, and he may win one again if he can stay healthy.
He's a beast.
But the thing is this also may hurt him. I don't know what the long-term prognosis with this injury. And
Perkins was talking about that.
Yeah, let's be real here. Philly isn't winning the championship.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to beat the fucking Knicks.
No.
Okay? And the thing is, what the Knicks are going to do, and here's the problem. It's not really a problem because Tibbs already knows this. Okay? The Knicks they play the slowest pace, and they have a stat for this, by the way. They play the slowest pace in the entire NBA, believe it or not, even slower than Philadelphia. However, they have a slew of big men that like to do this. Mm-hmm. And while Embiid will get his, and they'll probably win 2 games in Philly, the Knicks are going to win this thing in 6. Maybe 5, depending on how often they do this. But I think it's going to go 6.
6 is the absolute longest.
Yeah, 6. I'm going to figure they're going to get 2 in Philly. They're not going to win in New York. Okay, but the thing is, if the Knicks do what I think they're going to do, okay, which is let's test that knee, because and I saw this last night. This is why I love fucking Legler, and I love Legler because he was saying what I was fucking thinking. He's like, look, when I see a guy anything like this, it's all about transition from offense to defense. The guy wasn't getting back. Mm-mm. Okay, and this is where, by the way, if Spoelstra was such a great fucking coach, why didn't he take advantage of that?
Yeah.
even without Jimmy, because he has enough guys to outrun him down the floor. Kevin Love can outrun him down the floor. He's on one fucking leg.
Well, Kevin Love throws an outlet.
Kevin Love was, but anybody's running to get this guy running. If the Heat had done that, Philly never would have come back. But he never saw it. But I saw it. Tim Legler saw it, and I guarantee you
Everybody saw it.
Thibodeau saw it, okay? And that's the problem. Thibodeau ain't going to make the mistakes Spoelstra made. They're going to turn this into a track meet. He's going to tell them every rebound, break. Every fucking rebound you break.
But see, here's the thing. I know it says the Knicks are the slowest team.
No, they just play at that pace. They're not the slowest team.
No, I know. I'm talking about pace. But a lot of times what the Knicks will do, they'll fast break to get a lead, and then they slow the game down and they muck it up, and that's why they have so many wire-to-wire wins this year, because they can run. Dude, Josh Hart, when he gets a rebound,
the Knicks can
he's
run.
fucking gone.
If you think the Knicks can't turn this into a track meet, you're crazy.
Yeah. And Mitchell Robinson and Hartenstein
their
and Precious
their big men are built to do this
all
shit.
Run. Yeah.
They're all built to do this shit. Okay? And he's got 3 of them at least. The second, and the thing is, here's what Legler was saying. He's 100% right. Even when he has no presence on defense.
Yeah.
They're going to get into the paint at will.
Dude, and if Brunson's all squeaking
at will.
They're going to get into the paint on that knee.
They're going to get into the paint at will.
Did you see him buckle a couple times?
I'm telling you, I don't know that he's going to.
Did you see him take the free throw and go down to his
I don't
knee?
know that he's going to last the series.
I don't see how he'd last 7 games.
I don't think he does.
He might have to take a game.
I'm saying.
So he might.
He's got 3 days off because they don't play till Saturday night.
Yes.
By the way, what are we doing Saturday night for the game? 6 o'clock.
I don't know.
6 o'clock.
My parents may be here. If they're not here, we're watching.
All right, Saturday 6 o'clock. Because then, by the way, at 8:30 is LA Denver. Hold on, we're gonna talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
You feel good about that for LA?
I don't think they're gonna beat them, but I think they're gonna push them. They are gonna push them. But we'll get to that in a minute. Let's get back to this. Okay. The thing is, look, the Knicks are better coached. They're deeper. They're better on defense, and their best player is better than your best player right now. And I'm not talking about Maxey. I'm talking about fucking Embiid.
Because he can't move.
Nobody had Maxey voting. Brunson is getting votes for all NBA first team. No one's ever uttered those words with Maxey.
Yeah.
And that's the fucking guys that get paid to do it. Joel. Okay? So you want to argue with me, go ahead. You ain't arguing with them. Okay? And there are people talking about Jalen Brunson in the MVP. Nobody mentioned Maxey in any MVP conversation this year. Nobody. It's not saying he's not a hell of a player. He is a hell of a player. He's an all-star. I'm not knocking him. But Brunson was one of the top 6 players in the league, top 4 the second half of the season. He was. There's no way around it. He averaged 37 points a game the last 10 games of the year. When the Knicks had the fucking year. When they needed it, and everybody knew it was coming, and nobody could stop it.
Yeah.
Okay? So
he's one of the only guards in the league that gets double teamed.
His mid-range game, God help me, I'm going to say this, is the best mid-range game I have seen since Isaiah Thomas, who has the best mid-range game I've ever seen for a little man. And he's 6'1", so they're about the same size.
Yeah. Kyrie's got good mid.
He does, but not like Isaiah Thomas. Because, again...
No, but I mean,
Kyrie wasn't going over Hall of Fame 7-foot big men that block shots. This is small ball.
Yeah.
It's not even the same fucking league anymore. Okay? Kyrie Irving goes down the lane against fucking Moses Malone or Robert Parrish. That ball's going out out there. Okay? Or Kareem or Olajuwon or David Robinson.
I think Brunson could.
Brunson can, because Brunson's dad, his dad played against him.
Yeah. Brunson does that now.
Here's the thing. His game is his father's game.
I didn't know that.
It's exactly the same fucking game.
But he's better at it?
No, it's an easier league. It's small ball. His dad grew up in an era where there were dominant Hall of Fame big men in that paint. There's no dominant big men in that paint now.
Yeah.
Jokic is too slow. Wembanyama's too young. Now, he's going to be the guy eventually, but he's not there yet. Okay? The bottom line is this. You get in the paint in this league, you're free. And Brunson's dad told him, and I know because I know the guys, like, look, you're 6'2". There's still guys at the rim, but here's where you can pull up from. And they don't even see it coming because nobody does it. It's a layup or a kick out to a 3. We always talk about...
also his footwork, pivoting and up and unders and shit, he's all over the place.
It's his dad.
Yeah.
You should see. Go look at the tapes of his dad at Temple. It's eerily similar. Okay? So the thing is this. Okay?
I love it.
He has that game where Maxey doesn't. Maxey is straight line. He's faster.
Yeah.
Okay? And he might be
he's more explosive.
He's a better athlete.
Yeah, yeah.
But in terms of skill set and mid-range, he doesn't touch Brunson.
Dude,
not even close.
And I'm saying, just,
like, they're awash at the three-point line, but again, that's his game. By the way, let's be clear about something here, and this is the best part about this whole thing for me, because you said earlier, I had it in my head, but I was saving it for just now. You know where Maxey played his college ball, don't you? Mm-mm. Kentucky. For a man named John Calipari, who I've said many occasions.
God, he's had some good players.
Is a terrible coach. He's a terrible coach. And Maxey's lack of a mid-range game proves how terrible a coach he is. Because, by the way, that doesn't take 4 years to develop. John Calipari coached in the NBA in that era, and yet he never stressed to this kid, look, because here's the thing about the mid-range game. When you lose a step, because at some point where your quickness does start to go away, if you have a mid-range game you can last longer. But if you don't have that, see Rajon Rondo, who never had it, who never developed it. Oh, by the way, Doc Rivers, there's your fucking great coach.
Well, he had no shooting.
None, Doc Rivers.
I mean,
Doc Rivers.
He never could shoot.
Great fucking coach, Doc Rivers. Yeah, right, my ass. Okay? Kendrick Perkins couldn't turn left, and Rajon Rondo couldn't pull up.
Rajon Rondo was one of those old school, like, 80s New York point guards that all he could do is dribble.
God, sham God.
All they could do is dribble.
Can't shoot for shit.
And I mean, awesome facilitators. Awesome.
Yeah, they're quick.
But just adding that shot.
If Rajon Rondo ever, I said this to my brother at nauseum, if this motherfucker, I think Ray Allen was his teammate for 4 years, if this motherfucker ever got a mid-range game, he'd have been a first base. He'd have been Isaiah Thomas all over again. He was every bit as talented as Isaiah was. But Isaiah had something that Rondo never had. And that's why Rondo was never great. Okay, he could do great things at times, but he was never great.
Rondo's vision was unreal.
Yeah, he had that. I'm saying he had that. If he developed a pull-up jump shot, oh my fucking god, that dude could average 25 and 15. And that's what Isaiah used to do. And against the dominant 25 and 15, I saw him do that. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like Rondo had that kind of talent, but he never developed it. Yeah. By the way, another Kentucky guy. But he wasn't with Calipari. He was with Tubby Smith, who kicked him out after winning because he was an asshole. But anyway, the bottom line is this. Okay. The difference between Maxey and Brunson is the mid-range game. Brunson has it, Maxey doesn't. And Joe, that doesn't mean Maxey can't pull up and make a pull, because you can find that on video, okay? But he'll do that once or twice a game. Brunson will do that once or twice every 5 possessions.
Every 5 seconds.
Okay, every 5 seconds.
He'll take two
steps, and he's also a lefty, which throws everybody off. Okay,
I love Jim.
And he knows how to use it. So
dude, he wrote one of those Player Tribune articles to the fans.
Oh, did he?
Released it today.
Oh, did he?
He's all like.
He's his dad.
I'm biased, but like, I know there are better players out there, but I wouldn't want anybody.
Nobody
else.
Played better. I'll say that. Nobody played better at the end of the season than he did. He was as good as anybody.
Yeah.
And I have no problem saying it because it's true.
Yeah.
And I hate the fucking Knicks, but it's true. The kid's that good. Okay. And again, Maxey is a great player. 25 a game.
He's awesome.
If you have 25 points in the NBA, you are a great offensive player. But the thing is, where Brunson is better than him is and this is why Brunson can't be stopped really, because he can pull up from anywhere.
Yeah.
He drops 35 on the Celtics, and they're the best backcourt in the NBA because he can pull up from anywhere. And when you can do that, you really can't be stopped. Yeah. It's just a question of are you going to be off that night or on that? You're going to get every shot you pretty much want. Now, what the Celtics know how to do, and what Philly better try to figure out how to do, is a way to shut everybody else down and make him score 60 to beat you. Because if he has to do that, then the Knicks can lose this series. But Philly does that.
Yeah.
Because they're not stopping him.
No, that's a good point.
They're not stopping him.
But see, that's funny because most teams have gone the opposite of that.
Try to double him.
And they've been doubling him. Now, it really worked initially. But the Knicks have been flashing people.
Tibbs figured this out pretty well.
The Knicks have been flashing people to the foul line.
Yep, that's the open spot.
Brunson throws it between the double team, and then everything goes to the hoop.
Yep. And by the way, he's not just filling that spot with anybody. He's filling it with a slasher.
Right, like Josh Hart.
With a Josh Hart, who's big and athletic and can go up over anybody.
Or OG.
Or OG. Think about the two guys we're talking about here.
And sometimes it's actually Hartenstein.
He can do it too.
Because, and he facilitates. So Hartenstein will usually catch, turn, and look, and he can usually find somebody from the top of the key. Yeah. But that's interesting you say that because...
They are well coached. They are well coached.
See, the last time they played Philly, or one of the last times, they put Batum on Brunson.
Yeah.
And it was tough because he's so big.
He's long.
He's tall.
And he knew down and distance.
So,
like McHale did and guys like that. Yeah.
And Brunson had to work. And for some reason, they allowed Batum to... His hands are all over the people he's defending.
Yeah, he's very aggressive.
And he was guarding. I think he was guarding Butler last night.
Last night they called it on an out-of-bounds play at the end of the game.
Yeah, finally.
But the Heat were doing it the whole time, and they weren't calling it, which is why Nurse lost his shit.
And
he had a point because Miami was doing it, and they weren't calling it.
He had both his hands around Tyler Hero.
Yeah, he did.
And he was doing that all night to Butler and shit. And I'm like, this is not 94. That's a foul in the current NBA.
No, they let him play last night.
But
by the way, in the playoffs,
not the whole time.
No, this
So
falls,
inconsistent.
This goes, but now this is why fucking UConn was pissed about the fucking Iowa game, because the same fucking thing happened, and then all of a sudden, wait a minute, ticky tack when they let it go for 39 minutes. It's the same fucking shit. Now you're pissed about it. Okay, the bottom line is, if you're gonna call the game one way, that's fine. Right. Call it that way the entire
what
fucking
are we talking
game.
about?
Talking about how they were letting it go and they called it on him at the end because he was holding him. But I'm saying that was going on the whole game and they weren't calling it because he was doing it all game and they weren't calling it. Yeah. Remember on the perimeter, he was doing it the whole fucking game. They didn't call it till the end. And by the way, Miami was doing it too. Shit, Miami practically invented it. Okay, the bottom line is
he does it worse than anybody I've seen.
He does.
He literally holds guys' bodies back from running away from him.
Yeah, he hooks them.
He's not that fast.
And if you do it with the inside arm, the refs can't see it. But then you go to replay. Why can't he see that? Because you're looking at it from a perfect angle, and the ref's behind the guy.
But see, that's if I'm Tibbs, I talk to the refs before the series,
and he probably will.
This is something I need y'all to watch.
Yeah, he'll show him the tape,
right? And I know we're physical too, but
yep, you can't do
that's
that.
That's not. He's not moving his feet.
No,
he's holding
the guy up because he gets beat.
Right.
Yeah. But Miami does it all the time.
Yeah.
They do. Okay, trust me, and they do it a lot too. Lowry was famous for it. Yeah. I mean, Christ's sake. So listen, it's nothing new. It's the playoffs. They're going to let some of this shit go. But again, you don't call it at the end like that. Mm-hmm. Now again, they're up 4 fucking points. It didn't matter at the end of the day. Right. But I mean, the thing is this: this series is going to be physical. It's going to be physical. Okay, I can promise you this. Remember those New York Miami series in the '90s? Get ready for 2.0. This is going to be physical because Philly knows Embiid is not 100%. They're going to have to get down and dirty and make this a rock fight. Mm-hmm. Problem is, the Knicks were raised in that. That's the Knicks game.
That's who they are.
They're playing. That's who the Knicks are.
Yeah.
So you're going to try because you think with Embiid on his one leg can't, and you're right, you can't.
Yeah.
So you have to try and do something that you can't really do. Beat them at their own game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, the only way you're beating the Knicks like that is if you have a full Embiid.
Yeah.
Which you don't.
And I still think if they had Embiid, I'd still favor the Knicks at 100%.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the Knicks, because again, they know this. They're not going to stop Embiid, but they also know they have the ability, like with OG and Anunoby and guys like that, to shut down everybody else.
Yeah.
And Embiid's no different than a superstar. He's not going to beat you by himself. Michael Jordan couldn't do it. Nobody can do it.
Yeah.
Okay? Michael Jordan's the best I've ever seen at it, and he couldn't do it. So fucking Embiid's going to do it? No, not going to happen. Mm-hmm. Sorry, not going to happen. Okay? So the Knicks know this. Run this guy up and down the floor, wear him down, and shut everybody else down. Mm-hmm. And that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
That's literally what they're going to do. Okay? Now, because Embiid is Embiid and Maxey, I think, is going to have a couple of big games. I think Philly is going to win 2 in this series, but I think Knicks are going to win it in 6. I do.
Yeah.
But it's going to be physical. It's going to get dirty. They're not going to. And do you think these two don't like each other? Oh, this is going to get ugly. This series is going to get ugly. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
there's part of me that wants to pick this series in 5, but I was thinking 6 before.
6
before even coming into.
I
this.
figure Embiid will get 1, and Maxey will get 1 because he'll have one of those games like he gets 40 or something. But Brunson and Anunoby, they're going to wear them down. They're going to wear them down, and they'll beat him in 6. And look, if they have off nights, it might be 5.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take those two having.
Also, if Embiid goes down in
over.
game 2.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the other thing. He's got 3 days off, which is good. But then they go 1 a day apart, and they get 3 days off again until next Thursday. So
he
look,
can do it. But
Philly. Here's the problem. Philly has to take one of the first 2 to have a chance. They go down 0-2, it's fucking over. Yeah. Because they're not beating the Knicks 4 out of 6. Yeah. They're not doing it.
No, their best chance is to surprise them in game 1.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's.
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't.
No, nothing about last night's game told me Philly's ready to win a playoff series. They got by the skin of their nutsack.
They shouldn't have got by. If Jimmy Butler doesn't get hurt, or if Batum, if that guy doesn't have a career night, Philly's fucking playing tomorrow night against Chicago.
Yeah.
And I got news for you. With Embiid being the way he is, and Chicago playing the way they are, they can fucking lose that game.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Chicago, I got news for you.
Well, Miami's going to lose that game.
I think Chicago's going to beat them tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I don't think Miami has anything left. They just don't. And
who's their go? If Rozier's not out,
it's going to be Tyler Hero and Adam Iowa.
Dude, and you know who pressures the ball?
What's his name?
Fucking Caruso.
Yeah.
They're going to look and watch what Philly did to Tyler Hero.
Caruso is going to be up his fucking crack.
He was up Brunson's ass.
He's going to be up his ass
the last game of the season.
He was. He gave
Brunson
and
Brunson's a good ball
handler. He gave
handler.
Brunson all he could handle.
Yeah.
And more. But the thing is, Tyler Hero ain't Brunson.
No.
As a shooter, maybe.
Yeah.
Everything else, no.
Yeah.
No. So, look, I got Chicago winning that game tomorrow night.
Yeah, no Jimmy?
No, if Jimmy's not playing, I mean, look at in Chicago, Colby, this kid from North Carolina, everybody's forgetting about. As a rookie, 9.7 points a game. Second year, 19.9.
He's nasty.
Kid's a budding superstar, and everybody forgot how good he was at Carolina.
Well, remember
we took him to the Final Four.
We were talking about him after that game the Knicks played.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's for real.
They should have kept going to him at the end of that game. They've started to go, oh, but we have DeMar DeRozan.
Who had 30 points.
Who's great, but in crunch time, I would go to that.
Well,
guy.
it's easy because we're not coaching the team for 82 games. But
yeah.
If your go-to guy is normally DeMar DeRozan, because he is, and he has 30, it's not like it wasn't the worst decision on earth. But the kid was hot. Yeah. To your point, the kid was hot.
Yeah, it just felt like we couldn't guard him.
And then he proved it the other night. He had 40. I mean, he fucking destroyed Atlanta. Yeah. He single-handedly made Atlanta quit.
Atlanta looked bad.
They look beaten. They're in transition. They're beaten. Capella looks like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. He went from a legit defensive stalwart to did the bakery open up? What the fuck? Did you open a bakery? What the hell are you doing?
It doesn't look that fat
compared to what he was. You need to go look at the before and after.
I'm comparing him to me.
Go look at the before and after.
I'd kill for that body.
Well, you'd be 6'11" and you'd stretch you out.
That's true.
Okay, yeah. It's a lot harder to fill it when you're that tall.
If you stretched me out to 6'11", I'd still be
The point is, when you're that tall, it's even harder to fill out.
Oh, I know.
But he's managed.
Oh, believe me, I'd manage.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't. You'd be excited about being 6'11". First of all, you'd be fucking a professional athlete probably. You'd get paid minutes.
That's true.
Yeah, you'd be motivated.
Yeah, because I am athletic when I'm not big.
You'd be motivated. Well, I love this $11 million a year. Maybe I want to keep that gravy train rolling.
Jamming on people's face.
Yeah. So, and trust me, if you've never dunked, there's nothing like it. Okay.
I've crushed an 8.5-foot rim.
No, I mean in a game.
I used to bang on 9-foot rims in the backyard.
The thing is, the Celtics are going to get whoever comes out of that game. They should sweep.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, they said this, by the way, this was something that was encouraging. I heard this the other day. After they had practice, it was yesterday or Tuesday, after practice, the players decided not to go home. They went up to the archives and they got film on the 2008 World Champion Celtics. And they watched the series against the Lakers. I guess they watched like a few of the games, and they watched them all. And they were asking like, why? And that's the best defensive team last. And I think it was, I forget who said it. I think it was Derek White. He's like, they were the best defensive team in the last 20 years. Why wouldn't you want to learn from the best? That was pretty nice to hear, because they were the best.
Remember the Celtics?
They're watching what they.
Bertier and
No, but the thing is, they are the best defensive team for 1 year in the last. They really are. And if you're going to win a championship with a defense, you got to, as good as the Celtics are on defense, the fact that they're willing to look because they think they can get better, that's a feather in their cap. They're not satisfied. They understand. It's ban or a bust.
It sucks that they're not going to get the Heat with Jimmy.
I don't think they want him now without him. I think they'd rather play Chicago.
So boring.
Because it's not going to. It's like, okay, yeah, you swept them. They didn't have, because that's what everybody's going to say. And the Celtics wouldn't blame them for saying that.
Don't you dare not sweep Chicago.
I think they'll sweep whoever comes out of this.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters. And I don't think it would have mattered if Jimmy was there. I think they wanted that team.
You think they would have swept Miami?
Yes, they would have.
Wow.
They played them 3 times this year. They blew them out 3 times this year.
Was Jimmy playing?
Jimmy played. They blew them out. One time by like 40.
You don't think playoff Jimmy would?
I don't think playoff Jimmy is going to matter. Because honestly, that team, the firepower this team has is way better than last year.
You know the Knicks beat Philly by 36 in Philly, and Embiid played?
I picked the Knicks in 6 with a healthy Embiid because of games like that. I said the Knicks are the second best team in this conference. I've been saying it for a while now.
Well, they got the 2 seed, so it's not a stretch.
It's not a stretch. And if I'm telling you right now, I said it the other night, if Randall didn't get hurt, this would have been they would have floated with 60 wins if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
They would have. So, I mean, the thing is, look, and because of the way they play defense, I said defense travels.
Yeah.
Okay? And they have depth and they're well coached. That's why they can go on the road, they can win. Okay? But I will tell you right now, Philly's not just going to roll over. They're going to fight. They're going to kick. They're going to claw. Tough. They're tough. They're dirty. Okay? Mr. Lowry is on that team. They're going to be dirty. It's going to get dirty. Okay? So my thing is just, Jalen Brunson, keep your head on a swivel. That's friendly advice, and I'm no love of the Knicks, but keep your head up, because last thing you want to see is somebody go down over something like that. And Lowry, and they got the Phillies got guys that will do this. Oubre proved it the other night. He proved it the other night. You're right. There was no need for him to come down the way he did. It was almost like he was trying to do it, but make it look like an accident. And he was poor. Okay, so I got them in 6.
Piss poor.
We're going to come back, segment 2. We are going to talk baseball. We have to talk a little about this, and we're also going to pivot from baseball into what's honestly at this point becoming a fucking joke. And that would be what has now become the Robert Kraft versus Bill Belichick rivalry. And I have a take on that. Shocking. That I think you're going to want to, and you Belichick scrotum scrubbers are going to need to hear. Segment 2 coming right up.
Let's do it.